I'm Will, I'm the Bald Book Geek, and this is a book haul. So, it's been kind of interesting. So here they all are. There's not as many. Most of these I think you guys will find quite interesting. So here is a book haul. God, that's heavy. Okay, let's first get the elephant in the room out the way. Children of Blood and Bone. Honestly, with recent stuff that's gone on, it's kind of put me off reading this. It's a library book. So I don't know if I'm actually going to read this now. I just feel like it's a little tainted and a little bit, you know, creator's ego kind of thing has kind of ruined this a little bit. We'll see. Anne Rice, Blood Communion, A Tale of Prince Lestat. I love the Vampire Chronicles. I love Anne Rice. Obviously, I'm going to read this. I was quite surprised to find a brand new book in my library, but I'm reading this and I'm so happy. Me and Anne Rice have a very long history, and I've always kind of gelled with her work and her writing, and I think I've pretty much read everything she's ever done. So that's always good. The Prince Lestat series, her return to the Vampire Chronicles, has not been disappointing at all, and this, yes, it's a winner. Jennifer Saunders, bonkers. Jennifer Saunders is a great British comedian. She's also an absolutely fabulous, to name but one thing. She has also got a long history, and I've wanted to read her biography for the longest time. So there it is, Jennifer Saunders. And I will say that she's a fascinating woman. I've had a great pleasure of seeing her on stage and also see her do a talk, so I'm quite happy to be living out a bit of an ab-fab fantasy. A Trail of Ink. I don't know anything about this. It was in my library book sale for 30p. It looks interesting. It's set in Cambridge in the 14th century, and it's a murder mystery. So, usually things that tick my box. So, let's see what happens. An unofficial Pokemon Go field guide. This is really dated. Dated beyond belief, but it's quite, I'm like, ooh, this is quite handy. More for reference than anything else, but it is an extremely dated book. I genuinely don't know if I'll keep that one for a long period of time. The Paper Ghosts. I've heard nothing but praise for this, and this happens to be a signed edition, which is quite nice. I've heard nothing but praise for this. I've read Black Eyed Susan, so I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into this one as well. This came from my local Waterstones, ironically enough. The lovely people at Waterstones and Bury St Edmunds are always fabulous, and yeah, so there we go. Harper Lee's Go Set a Watchman. I have the British edition of this book, and a friend in the States sent me the American first edition as a gift. And I have to say this, I'm not normally like a book collector, but I do think America got the better deal with this cover. This is so pretty, album was so generic. And before everyone goes ranting about this book, do remember that this was not actually a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. It was actually the first draft. I don't know whatever your feelings are about this, but it was the first draft, and it's where the idea of To Kill a Mockingbird came from, and just more of an insight into To Kill a Mockingbird, more of an insight into creative process. That's why I love Go Set a Watchman. Mermaids Are Real. A writer got in touch with me, and for some odd reason this book had actually been on my radar. So they were very kind enough to send me a copy. Thank you, by the way, and I can't wait to read it. Another little thing from my local Waterstones, The Western Winds. I keep hearing about this book. It keeps popping up from people that I watch, and it keeps popping up in my Instagram, so I'm definitely going to be reading it. I don't know much about it, but it looks like the kind of book that I would enjoy, so I will see what happens with this one as well. And finally, The Girls. A book that Sophie Garland had talked about ages ago, and I finally got around to getting a copy from my library, so I can't wait to get involved and hear what this is like. Anyway, yeah, have you guys read any of these? I'll be fascinated to know and fascinated to find out. As always, please comment and please like and subscribe, because it's quite helpful on this channel. What are you guys reading? I always ask you that questions, and do you think there are any books that I would like that you guys are reading? So, talk to you later. Bye.